Hello, readers. Welcome to the Litdulterous Horror. I hope you've had an amazing week. I know I have. In case you didn't know, so there is an online bookstore called Book Outlet, and I think it's still on. They're currently having a sale where a lot of their books are $7.99. That's Canadian. I don't know what it is in the US, okay? But I bought I don't know if you've seen them, but they did these double editions of Bridgerton with like the fancy cover, the sprayed edges with the colors. Now I only got 3 of them because the 4th was out of stock. But something I did pick up, and I've been dying to get my hands on them, is the books by Harper L. Woods, The Coven and The Curse. Because look at those edges, okay? Tell me that these are not worth $8 a pop. Because I think like normal price there, yeah, like $40 Canadian. But I just wanted to let you guys know, if you haven't seen the sale yet, you should probably go to Book Outlet and check them out, because honestly, the pricing is ridiculous. But today's episode is all about my Read Like Rory challenge, where I've been taking one book a week off of her list, or Jess's, which I haven't done yet because I've only just started. But one book a week off of her reading list from the Gilmore Girls show. And I've been trying to pick books that have been banned or challenged from her list. So I've been kind of cherry picking. But you'll understand why, because I include the parts about why it's been banned. So this week it was The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. Now, if you guys know me, you know that Margaret Atwood has a special place in my heart, because the very first book I read of hers was Alias Grace. And my uncle bought me the copy of Alias Grace. I must have been like 15 years old. So that was a long, long time ago. And I started to read it, and I don't know, something about the book made me the reader I am today. Because I did used to read, obviously. My uncle was buying me books, but you know, I could take it or leave it back then. But this book made me the reader I am today. So Margaret Atwood has a special place in my heart. And believe it or not, The Handmaid's Tale was actually one of the books of hers that I took the longest to read, because there were so many mixed feelings about the book. And I can see why, because there are some things about the book that's very disturbing. Like the dystopian content matter is really disturbing. I can understand why it has been challenged and banned in school zones across North America. Now, I don't believe it should be a banned book, but it has been challenged quite a lot. Now, we're going to talk about why I think Rory enjoyed the book, what I enjoyed about the book, and why what they said was the reason for banning it, and why I think it was banned. So, to start with, it's been banned or challenged the most out of any book ever. Okay, this book is a bone of contention, not just in schools, but in libraries and different states down in the US. So the reason they say that it should be banned is the following: profanity. Okay, look, there are so many books that have swear words in it that I don't even think that's a valid one at this point. Sexual content. Okay, yes, it has a little bit in there, but it's not explicit. Like, I'm sorry, but I really don't understand the logic. Anti-Christian sentiment. Yes, okay. Now, this one I think is the big one, and I think that's why the sexual content thing comes into it too, because it tends to be challenged by God-fearing people. So they already don't like sexual content in books, but they also don't have to read them. So move past it. Move past it. Like, seriously, just because you don't want to read about it doesn't mean that I don't want to read about it. Now, the other thing is the violence. Now, I don't even think that there's a great deal in there either. And I don't even think the parts that have been described were described in particularly great detail. So, really, like, come on. It's lofty at best. Now, personally, I think that it was banned or challenged in a lot of states because of its viewpoint on government and the patriarch, okay? And I think it really upset men more than anything because they're seen in a really, really bad light. Now, I have several copies of this book. I don't know how it happened. I remembered buying this one thinking I didn't own a copy, but I actually have a hardcover, which I don't know where I got it from, and another paperback cover. And thankfully, like the two paperbacks have two different covers. So I was like, phew, for that. So I this was the one that I bought used. So I'm like, okay, fine. This is the one that I'm going to use. Now, Rory Gilmore read this book in the Gilmore Girls. And honestly, I can see why. She reads a lot of classic books. She likes a lot of books that make you think, books that pull ideas out of you. So you can kind of understand when you see her list, and there are like over 300 books on this list, what she's after and why. The general feeling for me about this book is worst case scenario of what happens if we go backwards. Like, the whole point is that it's not the whole country. It's like this one specific area. And the elites have basically bought back the patriarch being at the top of the food chain. Like, so men are best and women are all subservient. And each woman is basically, it feels like they are assessed, and then the elite patriarch have decided where best they fit into their society. So the handmaids, for example, they are brought in to basically get pregnant by the man in the family so that the couple can have a child. Now you might be thinking, like, this is really weird, right? Like, wow. Like, that's her only job in this society is to give herself to this man so that she can provide them with a baby. And then when the baby is born, she is separated from them, okay? Now, this book basically has where they've taken these women, like, say this is like today. So this place has taken now women like me and put me into subservience to a family or whatever job they've deemed me fit to do. Okay? And they're basically treated like cattle. If you read the book, you can really feel that women don't matter. They have a job to do. They are expendable. Okay? Now, we get the book from the perspective of Offred. And that's not her real name, okay? So she has to literally stop knowing who she is and fit this mold so that she's not punished. And they punish very harshly. Now, a lot of people, when they read the books, was like, well, the commander has a wife. Like, surely that means women often have more elevated positions. And honestly, like, after, like, Serena Joy, that's who she's trying to have the baby for, like, you can see that, yes, on the outside of it, it does look better for her. But honestly, it's not better. Like, you can see that each one of these women, that they're still just servants. It doesn't matter what title they've given them or how it looks on the outside. You're still expendable. You can be traded in. You are nothing, especially if you've read, like, the next book, because Margaret Atwood wrote a follow-on story from it, The Testaments. Brilliant book. I absolutely loved it. And it gives you some more depth to all the types of positions these women are put in and how it really looks on the outside. And honestly, both books are really freaking disturbing. I loved the book. I loved it. Like, for me, it's a 4.5 stars. Yes, it is slow. Like, the pacing is very slow. It's very methodical. Margaret Atwood, okay, she is very much like that. Her books are written that way, okay? That's how she writes. Yes, it's a little dry. Like, it's not entertaining, like, ups and downs and whatnot. But I think as far as dystopian novels go, I don't think they're supposed to be that way. I think she's written this book in exactly the way a dystopian book should be written. Now, one of my favorite quotes from the book is, "A rat in a maze is free to go anywhere as long as it stays inside the maze. What that basically means is that the construct is that you feel like you're free all the time you stay inside their maze, and that's their boundary for you. So you think you're free in the maze, but really you're not, because you're still bound. You are a slave within their system. And that really stuck with me. That was one of my favorite quotes. Now, I don't normally make note of quotes often, but that one really stuck with me because that's exactly how I feel about it. That's exactly how I feel about it. Now, Rory obviously read this book, and I think that the reason that she enjoyed the book so much was, firstly, like, Offred has to change her name, okay? And that's part of her identity. That's part of who she is, because it's the power of a name. Like, my podcast is called Litdulterous Whore, right? So that's what I am. I cheat on my TBR. I don't care that there's a whore word in there. Like, I'm fun. I like what I like. Now, that's important to me. That's powerful to me. And I think one of the reasons why Rory, like, that really probably resonated with Rory is not only was she named after her mother, Lorelei, but she was also named after her great-grandmother, Lorelei. So that's big, right? And then her mom, I don't know why she shortened it to Rory. I don't even know how she got Rory from that. But I think that's really reflective in how Rory feels about it. You know what I mean? Like, the name is important. That's important. Like, who are you without that? So I think that might be one of the reasons why Rory would have really enjoyed this book. Another one, I think, is the whole loss of self part of it. So Offred has to become something different to fit into this society, and she's lost who she is. So she's got no freedoms. All she is a baby incubator. She's lost herself. And you can really see that in the Gilmore Girls, because Rory, like, the whole thing about her wanting to go to Harvard, like, this was a thing for the whole thing, right? She was with a mom. Her mom is a single mother. She had nothing to do with her grandparents. And then she ended up going to Yale because that's their school. That's the family school. And you can see that what she wanted was Harvard. And then I know she changed her mind and she says that she wants to go to Yale, but I think it's more indicative of the fact that she wanted to please her grandparents. You know what I mean? And I know she was happy at Yale and whatnot, but I really feel like it's like a mirror image for me. She gave up something of herself to please her grandparents. That's how I feel about it. Maybe I'm wrong, right? Maybe I'm wrong. But the Handmaids are literally made to forget their past. Like, that's gone now. Like, this is over and done with. I don't know. It's an interesting tie-in for me. But again, that's just my opinion. Now, the other thing I think is the power of imbalance between men and women. And I think this is to do with the fact that Rory, being that she did come from a single mom, they didn't have a lot of money. Then she never went to her grandparents for money growing up. Like, her mom worked really hard to give Rory what she had. And she ends up at that prep school because she's really smart, but she doesn't fit in with the rich kids there. They're driving their fancy sports cars. They got money to burn. You know what I mean? And she has to ride the bus. Like, that's how she gets to school, or her mom drops her off, whatever. But it's all done on her grandparents' money. So she's not like those kids. So there is a massive power imbalance for her as well. Those people are really arrogant and she's really quiet. So I could kind of see how Rory would have felt connected to this book because she felt inferior. The rich kids held all the power, kind of like Gilead held all the power and women held none. So I think that's one of the reasons why Rory really enjoyed this book, was because she could really see herself in it and it resonated with her. Now, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. This is just what I think. Now, if you want to let me know what you think, you can either comment in the comments and wherever you are, or you can send me an email, litdulterous@gmail.com. I'm always open to talk, okay? Now, if you've read this book and you have a different take on it, let's talk. If you haven't read this book yet, you know what? If you haven't read this book yet and you have questions about whether or not you should read it, or I don't know what you need from me, but whatever it is, just message. Like, there's no harm in messaging. Or if you believe that I am completely off base with Rory and this book, come on my show and let's talk. Let's debate. Look, I'm waiting for somebody to argue with me. I'm really excited. I'm really excited to go toe to toe with somebody and have them either change my mind or just solidify what I already believe. Come on, I need this. Now, that's the end of the show for today. Like I said, I'm trying to do more frequent, shorter episodes, and I hope that you're enjoying them as much as I am making them. And I'm really glad for the people that have stuck with me, because I know that some of you watch every single episode, and I'm really grateful for you. If you want to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram at Litdulterous Whore, or you can follow me on Facebook. I have a Facebook page, and it's Litdulterous Whore, and the whore has a 0 instead of an O because Facebook does not like swear words. YouTube is at Litdulterous. And where else am I? TikTok, that's at Litdulterous as well. I'm really, really having a great time. Like, I'm not even joking. I thought this Rory thing was going to be a little hard because she reads a lot of classics. And like I said, some of the books on her list, not like, I've never liked them. Like, I've read them and I didn't like them. But because I'm coming at them from a different angle, I guess I'm getting something more out of it, which is kind of exciting for me. Now, what I really would like is if there's anybody that wants to do a read along with me, where we pick the book off of her list and we can talk as we go. Like, there are like over 300 books still to do on her list and Jess's list, and I think he has almost 100. So there are a lot of books to choose from. I'd even let you pick the book. Come on. Just send me an email, litdulterous@gmail.com. And let's set something up, because I can set up a chat somewhere if there's more than just, me and one person. It could be fun. Or if you want to come on the show and you have something you want to discuss, or there's a book that you're interested in reading and you want me to do a deep dive with you, or maybe you are an independent author, an indie author, and you want me to read your book and maybe have you on for a little session. I don't know. Let's do it. Let's talk. I'm really grateful that you were here, and I will be back on Tuesday. This is the Litdulterous Whore signing off. I'm your host, Stacey Wright. Have a good weekend, guys. Bye.